This is the German Touring Car Masters. Today, the 7th race weekend, coming to you from the historic Nürburgring. They won't be running the Grand Prix course, though. They're going to be running the tight and fast short course. Plenty of action ahead. The historic Nürburgring Castle overlooks the Nürburgring. A course that's been rebuilt over the years. Most recently, the pit area has certainly been improved. And now, everyone is waiting to see how the German Touring Car Masters attacks the short course. The crew's getting ready for the course. It's 1.89 miles long. The qualifying race, 10 laps. The main race will be 33. Everyone wonders, will Bernd Schneider be able to almost wrap up his title, or will the Audis continue to dominate? The Audis won the first two races of the season here, after Bernd Schneider had won the first two at Hockenheim. The Audis' big return was announced at the Nürburgring, and Bernd Schneider's competition was there. For the fans, a circus, and all kinds of possibilities to meet their favorite drivers. The facility was ready. Bernd Schneider, the point leader, with a 43-point margin over Peter Dumbreck. And we're about ready to go racing as the fans have one opportunity first to go into the museum and take a look at the history of the Nürburgring. These are the cars that have raced on this historic track. The fans are ready for the qualification race. 10 laps around this 1.89 mile circuit. Hi, I'm Milt Fitzwater. Welcome to the German Touring Car Masters. Plenty of action promised here for all the fans that have gathered. Some 60,000 today, over 69,000 for the weekend. A great race weekend here at the Nürburgring. There's the short course. You can see in gray the long course. That little short connector makes all the difference in the world, making this one of the fastest circuits that they'll be racing on all season long. Starting on the pole will be Laurent Aiello in his Audi with some simple plans.
To finish the race, first of all, and to try to stay on the same position that I will start that race. And then we will see for the second one. Here today is very hot, and I think we will have to play with the tires because it's going to be a real problem here. So maybe if we have a gap in between ourselves and the others, maybe we will a bit slow down to make sure that everything will be okay until the end of the race.
Okay, here's how they're going to start. Aiello is on the pole. Next to him is his teammate and boss, Christian Abt. It's his best start of the season for the Audis. In the next row, the points leader in the gray Mercedes, Bernd Schneider. Next to him, another Mercedes of Uwe Alsen. In the next row, Matthias Ekstrom, the young driver in an Audi. Next to him, Bernd Mailander. And so we're ready to go here on the short course. Aiello is on the left. Abt is on the right, and here we go. They're coming up into the chicane. They'll drop downhill. You can see that on the left, Bernd Schneider has been trying to get by the Audi of Aiello. He can't do it, but look at Alsen. Uwe Alsen has moved up into second place, pushing Christian Abt back into third, and everybody got through that first chicane okay. Now they go into the connector section, the very short connector section as you ride with Peter Dumbreck. He is starting back in the pack a little bit. Back in 8th position is where he qualified. The field sorting itself out pretty well here. As we have a car spinning in the back. A car is spinning in the back. Parts are flying just about everywhere. A couple of cars evidently involved in that one. We'll have to wait and see what exactly happened. Meanwhile, Laurent Aiello jumps out in front. Uwe Alsen is running second. Christian Abt is running third. And then comes the rest of the field through the motorcycle chicane. There you see the spin. It's Jaeger that is spun, and his car seems to be the most damaged of them all. It was very, very tight as I came out of it. The Alain Menu made a little bit of mistake and went over the curbs. In the next corner, I had a clear line, but he drove right into my side, and I spun. Another car hit me, and that car's badly damaged. I just hope our car is ready for the main race. So the crew has got their work cut out for them during this qualifying race. And it'll mean that Thomas Jaeger, one of the fine Mercedes young drivers, is going to be starting way in the back of the pack in the main event. It was back in the beginning of the year. Whoa, look at this. Peter Dumbreck has made a mistake. Something wrong with his car, and Dumbreck has gone off the course. Dumbreck was currently second in the points race, but is now seemingly out of it. That will not help his chances whatsoever. Something happened to his car, and he went off. Not exactly sure what happened, but there certainly is some sort of damage. But he was second in the points at that time. You're riding with Fessler right now, Marcel Fessler, and he came right up on Dumbreck, just missed him when Dumbreck slowed. Meanwhile, they're your second, third, fourth cars. And in the fifth position right now is Bernd Mailander. All right. Mailander came back after missing 3 events because of a foot injury. Did pretty well in his return event, but here he's running fourth, or fifth rather, so he's doing very, very well. You see Timo Scheider here in the black and red Opel, one of the top Opels this year. Also, the young driver is being courted for Formula One, it looks like. He's 22 years old and one of the top talents in Germany right now. The camera remains on Uwe Alsen right there, your second place car back in the pack as the race is waning down. Alsen, who has come on strong here in the end of the season, is certainly making up for what was a very slow start for him. And Aiello, of course, making up for some difficult times this season for Audi and for himself. As they head toward the start-finish line, you're riding with Christian Opt. Aiello is way out in front now and is already evidently crossing the finish line as the camera stays with the second place car, Uwe Alsen. Here we go across the finish line. Alsen takes second. Christian Opt is third. Bernd Schneider is fourth, though Laurent Aiello becomes the second two-time winner of qualifying races in the German Touring Car Masters, winning on the qualifying race here at the short course at the Nürburgring. And there he is, your winner in the qualifying race, right from the pole, Laurent Aiello, a very popular Frenchman and making a very happy team from the Audi crew. There you are, Aiello, Alsen, Apt, Schneider, and then Mailander fifth. Great finish for him as he makes his comeback from his injury. Again, another difficult day for the Opels. They've had their share of problems, and they continue to have them here. Timo Scheider right now the best Opel, coming in 11th. Manuel Reuter in 12th, another Opel driver. So the Opel's still struggling here, trying to get back into the winner's column. While we have a few minutes between the races, this is some of the activity that was going on here at the Nürburgring. There was a circus of all kinds, and it did involve a number of the German Touring Car Master drivers. There was fun for just about everybody. And the competition, well, it was a little bit different for the drivers than you might expect. And the other drivers who want to go against them, you can see their hands up. They all want to compete here. There's Joachim Winkelhock on the outside with a young competitor. Winkelhock's not going to be able to catch him, it looks like. The German Touring Car Masters wants this to be a family-oriented circuit. And so, this is just a part of a full presentation weekend for all the fans, young and old. It wasn't just Winkelhock, though, who had to compete. Several other drivers decided to get involved, such as the Netherlands' Patrick Hoesman here. He might be just a little bit too big. And it doesn't look like he's going to be too successful according to the young competition. Then there's Martin Tomczyk. One of the youngest drivers in the field, having his share of problems on a scooter. These are the pros in that area, not Tom Chick. And of course, there was plenty of time for autographs. Up close and personal, the German Touring Car Masters. And who said German Touring Car Master drivers couldn't perform in a circus? That's Christian Opt. Not bad, huh? But now it's time to get serious once again. Back into the racing scene. Aiello on the pole. Alsen on the outside pole. Two tough competitors. It'll be interesting to see who gets the jump. There's Christian Opt on the inside. On the outside is Bernd Schneider. And then the rest of the field starts to work its way around, but the big battle is going to be among those top four to see who's going to get into the corner the quickest. Will they be able to do it? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. This is the race that's going to tell it all. Schneider, if he can finish well, will have an opportunity to pick up serious points toward his title. He cannot clinch it here, but he certainly can put everybody so far behind that it will be virtually impossible to catch him. There you see the top Opels in the field so far. They've had their problems. They're hoping to do much better here. Alsen is on the right. Aiello on the left. Aiello tried to block on the inside. Let's see what happens again on this race. Aiello stays inside, trying to cut off Schneider. Schneider swings outside. Alsen's got the lead. Look at that. Starting from the outside, Uwe Alsen has taken the lead. Aiello has dropped into second place. Schneider is third. Apt is all the way back into fourth position. So Uwe Alsen has jumped out into the front here and spoiled a start by Aiello in the Audi. Aiello seemed to be concentrating more on Bernd Schneider, and Alsen slipped by on the outside to move in and take the lead. And the lead he has, but it isn't much. There isn't much space left. Hubert Haupt went off the course. A little bit of different line there. But look how tight they are here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That being Alsen, Schneider, or rather Alsen, Aiello, Schneider, and then Apt. And then behind them is Matthias Ekstrom. And behind him comes Bernd Mailander and the rest of the field. They're going to use there the motorcycle chicane coming into the hill. It's a little easier to get through for touring cars, not as sharp as the Formula One corner. Marcel Fessler back in the pack. You're riding with him right now. Fessler riding back in the 8th position at this moment. Once again, heading into the chicane after the start-finish line curve. Everyone working their way through carefully right now, but it looks like Alsen and Aiello have taken over the race to themselves. The question is going to be, how is Bernd Schneider going to handle this? Schneider sitting back there in third place. Then comes Ekstrom and Mailander. And right behind Mailander is his teammate, Patrick Hoesman from the Netherlands. Hoesman certainly has come on strong here over the last few weeks, gets better and better. Started off quite slowly, but he is somewhat of a veteran of touring car racing. He's 32 years old and has done his share of racing, but all of a sudden he's gotten used to his car, and he's right up there with the leaders. The cars have sorted themselves out very nicely as they head down now the start-finish line. There's your leader, Uwe Alsen, Aiello, Schneider. Christian Opt has a little bit of distance. Then comes Ekstrom. Behind them is Mailander and Hoesman. One driver to watch here is certainly going to be Jaeger. He has made a tremendous start. Thomas started back in 22nd position, way back in the pack. And in one lap moved up to 14th. What a great start for him. One of the best starts so far this season as you get a look at that motorcycle chicane. Had to be Bernd Schneider, who started the day way back in the pack and ended up finishing right up near the top. Schneider with the fastest lap here so far in the main race of the day. 33 laps around the short course here at the Nürburgring. Aiello, incidentally, had the fastest lap in the very first race of the day. Right now, Uwe Alsen continues to roll. And Schneider made sure that Aiello knew he was there. There's your top trio right there. Your points leader, Bernd Schneider, certainly would like to pick up as many points as he possibly can with the 3 races that are remaining. Now you have to understand that there have to be mandatory pit stops here, and they're going to come at lap 11, or about the 33 percentage mark of the race. The drivers have to make the pit stop, and they have to make it from the 11th lap on. So these have become quite crucial. There you see Bernd Schneider going outside. Nope, can't do it. He wanted to get inside rather on Aiello before the chicane, couldn't do it. This chicane is much faster than the Formula One chicane, and it's a little harder to outbrake somebody going into that chicane as compared to into the Formula One chicane, which really is a heavy braking corner. But look at Schneider right up on the back bumper of Aiello. This time he's going to go on the inside again. They've got the right-hand chicane coming up. Is Schneider going to make it? No. Oh, and they bump. There's some serious racing here for second place. Now the connector. Is Schneider going to get inside again? This time he makes it. Bernd Schneider has taken over second position. They bumped a little in the chicane, and then on the connecting segment on this Grand Prix course, Schneider got inside, so he has taken over second place. Aiello had held second place for 4 laps and now has dropped back into third. And Alsen seems to be putting some space between himself, Schneider, and then that trio of Audis. Aiello in the first yellow Audi, then Abt, and then Ekstrom. As Bernd Schneider now is in second place, looking to go after a Mercedes colleague. Not in the same team, but they're all part of the factory operation here. Here's Christian Abt. You get a look at that pass of Schneider getting by Aiello. And one of the Audis is coming into the pits. Martin Tomczyk coming in early. You can see a tire problem there. This is not a regular pit stop. It would be a couple laps too early before he should pit. So they're going to have to fix that one, and then he's going to have to come in again in order to take care of the obligation of the mandatory pit stop. Bernd Schneider continues to pull up on Uwe Alsen. Aiello is settled into third place. Schneider not letting up. For somebody that's this far out in the points race and who could drive for points if he wanted to, is certainly pushing here for victory. But he always says, I go for the win. And so Uwe Alsen continues to lead, and look at that. The Audis 3, 4, and 5 as the field continues to work its way around here on the short course. And Jaeger is in 12th position after starting in 22nd. So the young driver doing very well here, 24 years old in his Mercedes. He's had a difficult time after being involved in an early wreck in that qualification race, and now he's having to fight from the last place in the field. He's up to 12th position. Great drive so far for him. The top 5 settling in, 2 Mercedes and 3 Audis. And look at this, Ekstrom, the young Audi driver with the fastest lap so far. And now everybody's looking toward the pit stop time. Who is going to go in first? If you're Aiello, you probably will want to get in and get out because you haven't been able to move up and see if you can gain some time here. Then again, we have to wait and see how the rest of them just deal with it. Is Alsen going to come in before Bernd Schneider. That's a tactic for Mercedes. Of course, the drivers can have some say in that matter. But the pit stop now becomes the key here at the short course at the Nürburgring. 7th race weekend in the German Touring Car Masters. And it's a Mercedes-Audi duel so far today. Bernd Schneider has dropped back just a little bit from Alsen, and Aiello pulled right up on his bumper very, very quickly. Aiello seems to like this course here in the Eifel. Winning earlier this year on the Grand Prix circuit, and certainly doing extremely well here. He dominated the test sessions, the practice sessions. He took qualifying. He won the qualifying race, and now, though, he's running back in 3rd position here in the main event. Alsen certainly is looking to improve on his year so far. Uwe was 4th at Hockenheim, 19th at the Nürburgring, 3rd at Oschersleben. He did not finish at the Sachsenring. Riding with Christian Opp once again. He's back in 4th position. You can see Alsen way out in front. Alsen picked up a victory at the Norris Ring. He beat Bernd Schneider in the main event there after finishing 2nd in the qualifying race. He had a very bad race at the Euro Speedway. His worst finish of the season was 20th. So he had a 2nd place in the qualifying race, and right now here at the main race, he is out in front. Can he hold on? Well, the key points are coming up in just a few moments. And here they go. No, this is early. This is early. And it looks like Christian Opt has gone into the pits. This is only the 9th lap. So Christian Opt is coming in. Now, is this going to be a problem, or is this going to be a regular pit stop, or have they miscalculated? They weren't ready, I don't think, for a pit stop for the tires. They're making the tire change. Well, we're going to have to wait and see on this one. Hubert Haupt is coming in. His wing door came open. I guess that was the only problem. What happened? Oh, he went off the course at the chicane. Got a little bit airborne there, and that's where the door starts to open up. So he had to come in and get the door shut. Haupt coming back to the German Touring Car Masters after racing in the United States for a while. Bernd Schneider once again closing up on Uwe Alsen. Is he going to be able to get by? Does he want to get by, or does he want to wait till the pit stops? This will be interesting to see how this tactic goes. It's now a 3-car race up front with Alsen, Schneider, and Laurent Aiello. Mercedes, and Audi. All of these drivers have won races this season. Ekstrom is in the pits. And the motor's killed. Something's wrong. It's more than tires. Nürburgring starting to take its toll here. The short course, very demanding, very, very fast. In fact, the first race, the average speed was 101 plus miles per hour, which is the fastest race so far this season for a qualifying race. So Ekstrom still in the pits. Here comes Bernd Schneider. Bernd Schneider coming into the pits. And this is in the regulatory time. So this will count for him as his pit stop, the mandatory pit stop. He pulls in. Everybody's ready. And here we go. Quick pit stop will get him out and hopefully get an advantage on the rest of the field. Something's wrong. Something's not right. That back tire. Something is not right on the back tire. It is not sitting properly. Something is wrong. Either the lug nut. Something is not working here. This must be a frustrating moment for Bernd Schneider. Here he was hoping to pick up valuable points. Instead, he's losing valuable time. They're still working on that back tire. Now he is out. That probably cost him the race. Unless everybody else has severe problems, that will hurt him. There he goes. You saw that Alsen was coming into the pits. And there's your leader now, Laurent Aiello. Here comes Alsen into the pits. Alsen will want to get out as quickly as he can because now he has to hope that he can make up time before Aiello comes in. Looks like everything's going very smoothly here. It did. Whoa, he's out fast. So Alsen is out. The question now is, when will Aiello pit? You get a look at Uwe Alsen as he works his way around the course. He's now going to go as quickly as he can to make up as much time as he can, as this man here is out in the lead. He started on the pole but hasn't led a lap until now. But Laurent Aiello still has to pit. Here comes Alsen out of the pits. The reason that's being shown is there's a rule about the tires going over that white line. That one there seemed like it was right at the end of the line, not really a problem. They've been worrying about the drivers cutting out too soon into traffic, and they have to wait till they're past that white line. That was the key to that one. Laurent Aiello continues to roll out in front for Audi. A pit stop definitely is going to throw him back. The question is going to be, how far back? So, coming into the pits now, Marcel Fessler. His crew working hard here, a teammate of Uwe Alsen, and he's out almost as quickly as Alsen. Manuel Reuter right behind him in the Opel. Reuter's had his battle to fight here too. So there is Fessler, then comes Reuter, and here's your leader. And here comes Laurent Aiello. He's coming in. The question's going to be, will he be able to get in and out before Alsen can get around? This is going to be tight. He's made up a little bit of time on the track. Here we go. Into the App Sportsline pits. Crews go to work. And he is out. And he got out quicker than Alsen, but where's Alsen? Here comes Aiello. Here comes Alsen right there. Can you believe that? Uwe Alsen made the time up on the track that Aiello made up in the pits. So your two first cars throughout the first half of the race are back near the front. The actual leader right now, though, is Darren Turner. He is not pitted yet. And running second right now is Olivier in the Opel. That's him right there. So Alsen, who you see here, is actually running what I would think would be third or close to a third, with fourth being Aiello. And here he comes. You can see how close it was. And whoa, Aiello actually went out too quick. Now the question is what the officials are going to do about it. He went over the white line too fast. He was supposed to come down further, straight ahead, and then pull out. That's going to be up to the officials to decide that one. There you see Olivier, and he is now out in front. Olivier is out in front because Turner has gone into the pits. No, Turner's not. Well, according to the scorecard, he hasn't gone in. He has gone in, so that leaves Olivier out in front, Alsen, Aiello, Mamero, who also is not pitted. The independent is running fifth according to that score chart. But it's about to change when the others have to come into pit. Boy, Alsen's got a problem. He wants to get by Olivier, but he's got Aiello right in his back bumper. Alsen blinking to Olivier saying, hey, let me by. Olivier saying, I got the lead. I don't have to pull over. I can defend my position. And that's exactly what he's doing. Here comes Alsen. Can't make the move inside. Not at this chicane. Aiello stays right on his back bumper. And he's going to go outside, but can he cut back inside here? Nope, can't do it. What's interesting is you think that these cars could slipstream, but as yet they have not shown that ability. The way these aerodynamics on these cars are right now, it doesn't show. Here goes Allison. He gets inside. Oh, Yves Olivier. Olivier goes outside, goes in the dirt. Aiello stays with him. And oh, wow. Yves Olivier went off the course, slid back in, but right behind Laurent Aiello. That could have decided the race itself right there. So Olivier was going to have to pit. And Uwe Allison now out in front. The app crew now has to start to worry. Can Aiello get by him? Aiello is going to put the pressure on no matter what he's going to do. He's going to be looking for Uwe Allison to make a mistake. Any kind of mistake. Looking back in the pack, you can see everybody going over the curves, using every bit of the course they can. That's Albers coming around, losing a position. But the drivers using just about every part of the racetrack they can. And this is a pleasure to watch. Aiello right up on the black bumper. Now, can he get by? He's quicker in some of the chicanes than the Mercedes. Allison, on the other hand, is one of the top touring car drivers in Germany. He's been around a long time. In fact, all he's ever driven are hardtops, basically. And here comes Laurent Aiello. The Frenchman wants to go outside, but he's not going to get it here. Uwe made a mistake coming out of the chicane. Aiello literally had to go outside, but there was no room to get by. Allison started out in the different manufacturers' cups. Never did go to open wheel racing to start his career. He's been racing some sort of touring car or sports car all his career. He's also known as a driver that can be very, very difficult to pass and also can be difficult when he wants to get by. He can be as hard as the next man if he wants to get by and you're holding him up. He has calmed down a little bit from his earlier days, but he's still one of those type you really have to figure, well, I'm not sure what he's going to do. And right now the question is going to be, will his car be able to handle it? They've got 15 laps to go, and they're pushing. It's a hot day. The course is tight. Olivier in and out, and his short moment of fame in the year that's been a little bit difficult for him, too. He's come into the German Touring Car Masters for the first time as a teammate from Manuel Reuter in the Opel. And, of course, Opel has had its share of difficulties, as the fans of this series know. And they've been working their way forward, but they still haven't had the big breakthrough yet. Aiello knows he has to keep pushing. He has to hope that something happens to Alson's car. Oh, here are the teammates. Whoa, they're getting a little bit tight. Mailander and Husmann. Whoa. That'll give a team manager fits. They are still battling out here. Husmann now goes to the inside. Is Husmann going to get by his teammate? Of course, Mailander has a lot to prove. Well, he was gone the 3 weeks. Marcel Thiemann stepped into the car and did extremely well. So Mailander, after his injury, has to come back and make sure he deserves to keep the seat. Pressure being put on by Albers. But right now, it's Husmann that was able to step up and take the position and moves away, actually, from his teammate just a little bit. It's kind of amazing how far he's gone. Husmann right now is running in 4th position. You're riding with Fessler, who has dropped back a couple. Fessler running back in the 8th slot right now. Back in the pack, everybody continues to roll here. Let's see where Jaeger is right now. Jaeger is up into what seems to be after the pit stop. He is now in 6th position. So Thomas Jaeger, who started 22nd, is doing extremely well as you ride with Marcel Fessler. Those, incidentally, are kilometer that you're seeing on that tachometer there. 200 is about 125 miles an hour. 250 is 155 miles an hour. So the battle back in the pack continues. As Hoosman is having a great race here. He's moved into third place. Look at this. Mylander's fourth. Reuter with Opel, his best finish. And one of the best finishes yet this season for Opel if he can hold on to it. So the Opel crew can smile just a little bit because Manuel Reuter has brought his car up into 5th position. What a great race for them. Meanwhile, back up in front, Aiello has not let up. Aiello has stayed on the back bumper all the way through this event. Uwe Alsen, and Uwe's getting a little loose here. Uwe's got his foot to the floor. He doesn't let up. And as long as he doesn't develop problems, he's going to be all right. Here comes Reuter trying to go another position and can't make it. Reuter wanted to move up, couldn't do it. He's running actually in 6th position. I had him in 5th. I think he's dropped back 1. Here comes Aiello again. This is the battle for the lead. Uwe Alsen is holding on. Aiello is right back there. He can't get by. But Aiello now is starting to push harder and harder. Looking for Alsen to make a mistake. Looking for a weakness in the Mercedes. Something to let him get by. Alsen has made that car as wide as he possibly can. He's not going to let him by unless he has to battle for it. Uwe can be as hard to pass as anybody in this field. Here comes Aiello again. This is his fast point, these chicanes. He picks up a lot of ground here. So we're headed toward the start-finish line once again. These two have been battling since the pit stop. Olivier, his race is over. Already had his moment in the sun when he took the lead. It was his first lead of the season. The countdown continues. Uwe Alsen uses the curves, uses every way he can to stay ahead of Laurent Aiello. Aiello seems to have at least a little bit anyway faster car. He just not enough to get by. Alsen seems to be having some small problems. Could be a setup, could be a brake problem, and Aiello is not letting him breathe. If Uwe is having to battle with something inside the car, he also has to keep his eye on the mirror because it's full of an Audi. Heading toward the motorcycle chicane. And then comes the short chute before the start-finish line once again. And they continue to battle. Oh! Manuel Reuter was off the course. He's been running so well. Hope he gets back on and holds position. Opel needs a good finish here. But right now, the fans are all watching this battle right here. It can't be any closer. These two have been going at it now since the 17th lap. Oh, a little bit of a bump. Hello. I'm going to get by. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Oh, dear. Is he going to be able to make it or not? Here he comes again. Aiello on the right goes over to the opposite side. Alsen has got to play defense. Obviously, something's not working in his car properly. And Aiello knows it. but Aiello still can't get by. Oh, there was the mistake. And Laurent Aiello used it. Aiello has gotten by Uwe Alsen. Alsen had a little bit of an oversteer. Aiello got by. There's the Mercedes crew. And Laurent Aiello has the lead. Now let's see if it was Alsen's car or that slowed down a little bit. If Aiello starts to pull away, which he is, then Alsen's had some problems with the car. And if that's the case, he drove a great race to hold him off this long. So Laurent Aiello, persistently staying on the back bumper of Uwe Alsen, has taken the lead. Hoosman from the Netherlands running third. What'll be a great race for him. And look at Jaeger in fourth. He had started 22nd today. 22nd in the race, and the young drivers up into fourth position. Manuel Reuter is in sixth position. A great run here so far for Opel. Fantastic. Bernd Schneider, well, he's continuing to battle. He had that very, very long pit stop, and he's running back in 11th position right now. Here's Christian Abt. You're looking at him going through the connector session. And Abt is starting to move up also, going by Mamero, a lap car. Oh, Albers and the Opel of Manuel Reuter spin. Are they out of the way? Yes, they are. Reuter keeps going. Albers kept his going. Oh, wow. That was a little bit of ballet. And that's going to affect the standings here. Look at that. Christian Abt has moved up one. Abt is now running in fifth position, right ahead of Reuter. So Reuter, despite the earlier trip into the sand, and here this little ballet action with Christian Albers, has been able to hold on to, it looks like, sixth position. Albers continues to roll as he goes off the course a ways. He's running way back in 11th, 12th position right now. Coming into the pit is Ekstrom. This is his mandatory pit stop. He'd come in earlier. So he had to make that pit stop if he wants to be counted. And there's Manuel Reuter, the Opel driver, carrying the banner high, hoping that they can do well here at the Nürburgring. It will certainly be a great day for Manuel Reuter. He has had to battle with just about everything you can imagine so far this season. The best Opel finish was Joachim Winkelhock. He came in fourth. That was at the Nürburgring. That was in the Opel. So now Reuter would like to better that. Reuter is also doing his best right now. He's had a very difficult season, and he's doing much better here in this race. Christian Abt. Abt is right now running in the fifth position. And there is the Abt Sportsline crew. He continues to roll. Now, he made a pit stop before the regulation 11th lap, so the question is, did he make another one since? Right now, we don't have the notes on that one. We never saw it, so we don't know for sure. This is Mamero coming by here underneath. There is Christian Abt. Then comes Manuel Reuter in the Opel. That car has got the motor. It just hasn't quite got the setup yet. The motor is definitely strong enough. They just haven't got that car sorted out. They've had a tough year all year. They're having the year that Audi had last year. Audi's very happy, but they can probably sympathize a little bit with the Opel crew and the difficulties they're having this year. There's Christian Abt. He and his brother run the App Sports Line to take care of this operation. It basically is a private racing organization. App is running in 5th position, Reuter in 6th, but look at that Jaeger. What a great performance for him. 22nd to 4th. And who knows how much further he can go. Bernd Schneider is up into 7th position, so Schneider, who had that very bad pit stop, dropped way back in the pack, all the way back to 16th. Has fought his way back up into 7th position, so there are going to be points here, but not a big number of points that he was looking for. 20 points for a win, 15 for 2nd, and 12 for 3rd, but he's going to be down a ways. He was looking for the big doubles. There's Bernd Schneider. He's been the dominator this season. However, in this race, because of a unlucky pit stop, has dropped out and is not really in contention as far as the front place is concerned. What a year he's had. No one can deny that he's the man of the year so far. First at Hockenheim in the main race, second at Nürburgring earlier this year, second at Oschersleben, first at Sachsenring. He finished second at the Norrisring, second at the Euro Speedway. So he has certainly earned his position in points, but he's having to battle here to get back up into where he needs to be. We're taking a look at the pit stops, and those are the fastest ones so far. As we head now down toward the waning moments of the main race of the day here in the German Touring Car Masters on the short course at the Nürburgring. Laurent Aiello won the qualifying race. Alston took the lead from him right on the very first lap in the main event. Aiello got the lead back until he had to pit. When he came out, he had to work his way back up into 2nd place, and then he and Alston had a battle that'll be one of the most remembered this season. They have gone as long against each other as you can imagine. They just have kept pushing. And then it was a case where evidently something a little bit off on Alston's car. He made a mistake. Laurent Aiello, this man right here, took advantage of it and sailed by. And now he's looking for the victory as they go into the last lap here on the short course. Aiello this season was 7th at Hockenheim. He won at the Nürburgring here earlier, as we've mentioned. He was 5th in Oschersleben. He did not compete at Sachsenhausen as he finished 2nd at Le Mans that same weekend. He came back and went 12th at the Norrisring. Oddly enough, the car that he had been driving was wrecked by Chris Nissen in that race at Sachsenring. He wasn't there, and they never got it really sorted out, and he came back into 12th position at the Norrisring. He had a Euro Speedway, also had a more sorting out process for that car. And then here at the Nürburgring, he's back. Big time. Amazing. And the rest of the field continues to work its way through, but this is the man right here. Laurent Aiello, the very popular Frenchman. Has his family with him at every single event. The 32-year-old, a very popular driver with the fans. Always willing to sign autographs, and now he's going to have even more reason to as he takes the checkered flag here at the Nürburgring in the German Touring Car Masters for the 2nd time this season. A great race for him. Alston is 2nd, and Husmann is 3rd. But what a great day for the Audi crew, and particularly for Laurent Aiello.
It was a very tough race, as we expected. Very hot in the car, very hot on the track. It was quite difficult for us because we've been overtaken by the Mercedes in the straight, in the pit straight, and I couldn't do anything about it. And then afterwards, it was, even if I was quicker in some parts of the circuit, it was quite difficult to overtake them. But then in the second half of the race, I had a better set of tire, and the car was much faster, much easier. And then I think that Uwe started to have problem with the brakes or the tires, and then I saw that I back off a little bit just to try to cool down a little bit my tires and wait for the big fault. And then it happened, and then I passed him, and then I had only to control the race.
And there you have it. You can see that Christian Opp's name is missing. He was disqualified because he did not make the mandatory pit stop at that time of the event, which was in lap 11. He made it at lap 9, so he has lost his position in the field. He has been disqualified, which means everyone else moves up and that means for Manuel Reuter a 5th place for Opel. But Mercedes can also smile here at the Nürburgring.
I think it was a fantastic weekend, really. Audi won. Congratulations, they did a good job. It was, I think, a dramatic race, very, very close fought at the top of the field. It was very fair. It was close, tough, but still fair, and I think that's how racing should be. We saw a lot of spectators, 60,000, which is a new record for touring car races at the Nürburgring. And so I think everybody is pleased with the outcome of the race weekend.
And certainly Bernd Schneider has to be. A 49-point lead in the championship. But somebody else that has to be happy is Patrick Koesman.
For me, it's a fantastic result, being third, coming from 12th position on the grid, on a track where it's very difficult to overtake. I didn't count on that, but my car went very, very well in the sprint race already, and my team boss Olaf Mantai just told me to keep my head cool during the main race, which I did. Got a good pit stop, but I killed the engine when driving away, so lost 2-3 places, and that cost me some time because I had to pass a few competitors. And once I passed my team colleague Bernd Meiler, and I was able to make a gap, and was very much surprised to find myself back in 3rd place. And it feels like a win coming from that position. And now just hope for the next races that we have a better qualifying session, and from there on we can start a little bit more to the front, and maybe we'll see. Maybe we want to get to the top of the podium.
And that next podium, well, that's going to be in Austria in a couple of weeks. Hope you enjoyed the racing today from the Nürburgring and the German Touring Car Masters. This has been Milt Fitzwater reporting. See you at the Austrian Ring.